For another episode of Toy Tengoku, brought to you by HobbyLink Japan, HLJ.com, and HobbyLink.tv. I'm Robin, and today I'm joined in the studio by our special guest, Scott Hards.
Hi, everybody.
Scott is not only the president of HLJ.com, he is also a big Go-Busters fan, and he's got some amazing new toys here.
Yep. I got myself the new ones as we promised. We covered in a previous episode. We did Go-Buster Ace, the car that turns into a cheetah that turns into a robot, and he's now been joined by the GB. What is it? VG, GT. Buster Machine 02, the rabbit, or is that the gorilla? And 03, the rabbit, which, as you can see, are helicopters and a large truck here. So yeah, I'm a fan just of all of the Sentai shows pretty much, and also these toys that Bandai makes of them. Although, admittedly, they're targeted at probably the 5 to 8-year-old crowd. Okay, so here I am, mid-40s. Buying toys like this. Okay, what's my excuse?
I'm sure. Cool.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. Now, what is it about them that's cool? The cool thing is I like to call these hand candy. Now, the expression eye candy. Things that are just kind of pretty to look at, and they're candy for your eyes. I find these to be hand candy. Now, by that I mean they're just kind of fun just to play with. You've got all these little joints and things and things you can pop and do and turn and move. And I find that it's kind of fun to just have one of these sitting around, on your desk or whatever. And, if you're on the phone, you got your headset on or whatever, you can just kind of be doing stuff to them while you're talking on the phone.
I was going to say, great for boring phone conversations.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, there's just something about playing with something that's so mechanically intricate and well designed that even if you're not thinking, wow, it's a gorilla that turns into a truck or whatever, there's just something about your mind that sort of admires the mechanism. I think
absolutely.
Maybe that's a guy thing. I don't know. Guys get into mechanical constructs that are interesting and fun, and I think there's something about that psychology that's involved in playing with
I like
things.
them too. I find the engineering fascinating. I mean, somebody had to sit there and think about how does this thing go together? How does it fold in and out and yet make it? These are relatively, from what I can tell, relatively simple, and they're so amazing when they're all finished. They're just wonderful.
I'd love to sit in on one of those design meetings where at Bandai or wherever it is, where the designers for the show have drawn sketches of these rabbit helicopters, and then this all gets passed off to some guy who's actually got to make it work.
Yeah, here, make it work.
and I'd love to see the design process that goes into that. But anyhow, one other thing I wanted to bring up, we covered Go-Buster Ace in the first show that we talked about these toys in. And then we did get some feedback from a few folks. It's like they jump on our site, they want to get the toys, and then they see this very disconcerting discontinued icon. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit because it is a sore spot for us. Now, first of all, I'll point out that toys like this, Bandai is going to continue to make them available over the whole pretty much run of the show, which is a one-year thing. So we're going to have additional stock coming into these products over the next, probably 8 to 9 months at least. It's just they become available in small spurts and sell out quickly. So yeah, keep monitoring the site, get your order in when we're accepting orders for them, and sit patient because it is a long process on these. These are not a one-time release and that's it, they're done. Well, so why are we putting them up as discontinued on the site at sometimes? Well, that unfortunately is a technical shortcoming of our site right now. We really never designed the site with this kind of supply in mind, where something would come out for a short period and then go unavailable for a while, and then come back out for a short period and go unavailable for a while. And to avoid trying to open them up for orders and then getting far more orders than we could possibly fill and keeping a lot of people disappointed all the time, we're just kind of shutting orders off until we know for sure when we're going to be getting additional supply. So even though it does say discontinued, there's going to be more. So sorry about that. We are actually working on some big changes on the site, which should improve that among a lot of other things. And we hope to unveil those in the next few weeks. Awesome. Stay tuned for that. But anyhow, so I thought since we've got all the toys here, not only would I show you how they transform from their vehicle modes into animal modes, but of course the big deal is how they all combine to create Go-Buster O. O means king, by the way. So we'll show off all of that, and hopefully it won't take me too long. By the way, of course, Bandai, when you get them gives you extensive instructions, which will walk you carefully through exactly how to turn your helicopter into a giant mechanical bunny. It's very well illustrated, a lot of Japanese, but if you follow the illustrations, you'll do just fine. So anyhow, let's start with our bunny here and turn this into animal mode. It's quite interesting how all of the mechanism works, and if you've ever had one of these, you know Bandai really does a great job on the build quality. They're incredibly durable, designed for small hands and to be dropped and things like that without breaking immediately. And that's one of the best parts about these things. So we go through here. We've got the little paws come down. This whole thing shifts up one rank, and then the rotor blades / ears fold back. This pops off, and this mounts over. Have them backwards. The whole front end here, and kind of becomes the ears. Get on there. There we go. And this sticks on his tail here. And there you have it, the bunny. That's step one of our transformation. Now, we've already done Cheetah Nick, but I'll do him again here because he's actually pretty easy to do the transformation into animal mode. Legs come out. The whole side panels here flip over. Boom, boom, boom. Rear legs pop out. And then we have to adjust his tail to be more tail-like here. So that slides over, and the whole assembly comes down. And he's got a little tail to wag here. So there's the cheetah. Now, the gorilla here actually does a different thing. Rather than having a lot of sliding and twisting parts, the whole thing breaks up into chunks. And this is actually, trying to remember how they go together, is one of the harder ones. So we'll give it a shot here. The whole front comes off. These come off. Everything breaks into chunks. Boom, bam, bam. So it's kind of like we have robot Legos here. And then we reassemble them, if I can remember how.
Well, you've got the instructions there. Just in case.
I do have the instructions if I get desperate, yes. All right, we finally made it through the animal transformations with a little help from our trusty instruction sheet there. And we've got the gorilla, the cheetah, and the bunny. But now we're going for the big one. We're going for Go-Buster O. See, this is the whole thing. This is why you get all three, is so you can make this giant super weapon. And we're going to give it a shot here. Hopefully I'll be able to get through this one. All right. So the whole thing starts out with Ace here as being the core, and we'll just let you kind of watch here the process as I try to get through it. I don't know if I can comment intelligently at every stage in this.
There
I think I got it. Yeah, that looks right.
That looks right.
That looks right. Woohoo.
Wait.
Of course, we only have limited posability here. The arms do move a little bit. I'll stress the little bit part, so you can maybe swing a sword or something. But the legs are rigid. But hey, that's an impressive hunk of plastic. Obviously, any nation or foe who's going to try to go against the Go-Busters is going to think twice when they see this clunking its way toward them. Of course, if you watch the show, it's pretty impressive because they've made an actual suit of this, and an actor manages to walk around in a costume that looks like this, which in itself I think is pretty impressive. There's something to be said these days, with CG we get really jaded and they can make anything happen, but when you got a guy in a suit, it's real, and it has a different level of fun involved in it. So there we are. You have now witnessed the amazingness that is Go-Busters-O and the 3 toys that make it possible.
All right then, that about wraps it up for this episode of Toy Tengoku. We'll be back next week with more interesting toys and figures and stuff like that, and more questions. Not going to read you any questions this week because of Scott and his awesome toy here. But Scott, thank you so much for bringing that by. That's amazing. And we'll hopefully you'll be able to come back another time soon with more fun stuff.
Yeah, I'm still playing. I'm sorry.
Hand candy.
Is this on here? Sorry.
So thank you so much for watching. Please continue to leave us questions and comments in the comments on YouTube and on hobbylink.tv, and we'll do our best to answer them. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next time on Toy Tengoku.